There's a moment most people wait for when it comes to retirement. A signal, a milestone, something that says, you're ready. But here's the truth. That moment doesn't always arrive on its own. And for many people, even those with significant assets, retirement still feels like a question mark. You might be wondering, do I have enough? Will my income last? What am I missing? I've seen this time and time again. Individuals with $1 million, $2 million, sometimes even more, still hesitate. Not because they haven't saved well, but because they don't feel confident. And that uncertainty keeps them working longer than they need to, or enjoying less than they could. But here's the good news. True retirement readiness is less about a magic number and more about clarity in three specific areas: income, risk, and purpose. You can check those three boxes. You might be far more ready to retire than you realize. And if not, I'll show you exactly what to focus on to help you get there faster. Hi, I'm Scott Beesley, Certified Financial Planner at Gateway Financial Partners. I help individuals and couples create retirement strategies that are tax smart, investment savvy, and aligned with their values. If that sounds like the kind of calm, clear guidance you're looking for, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. In today's video, I'll walk you through the three most reliable signs that you're ready to retire. Not just financially, but practically and emotionally. And I'll show you how to address each one in your own plan so you can move toward retirement with more clarity and confidence. Let's get started. Sign number one, you know your monthly retirement income and it's sustainable. One of the strongest signs you're ready to retire is knowing exactly how your monthly income will work in retirement. Not just this year, but 10, 20, even 30 years from now. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I have a good sized portfolio, I should be fine. But retirement isn't just about how much you saved, it's about how well you've turned those savings into stable, tax-efficient income. This means you've asked and answered questions like, what accounts will I draw from first and why? How will I coordinate Social Security, pensions, and investment withdrawals to create predictable income? What happens if markets drop in early retirement? Do I have a strategy for that? Think of your retirement like running a business. You've built up capital over decades. Now it's time to turn that capital into reliable monthly revenue. For example, let's say you have $2 million saved. Rather than using a flat 4% withdrawal rate, a well-designed plan might help you withdraw from taxable accounts first to lower required minimum distributions later, use Roth accounts strategically in high income years to manage future tax brackets, incorporate bond ladders or annuities to stabilize income during volatile market periods. This is about building a paycheck replacement strategy, not just relying on growth projections. To get there faster, work with a planner to create a detailed retirement income timeline, seeing where each dollar comes from and how long it'll last. Often, this gives people the confidence to move from can I retire to I'm ready. Sign number two. You've minimized major unknowns. Retirement readiness isn't just about income, it's also about confidence. And confidence comes from knowing you've planned for the things that could go wrong. Most retirement fears boil down to a few big unknowns. What if the market crashes early in my retirement? What if healthcare costs spiral out of control? What if inflation erodes my purchasing power? What if I live to 95 or longer? Will I run out of money? If you've already asked these questions and addressed them in your plan, you're likely far more ready than you think. Let's take healthcare, for example. If you're retiring before Medicare eligibility, do you have a plan for bridging the gap? Maybe it's COBRA, a private policy, or healthcare sharing ministry. Either way, having a plan in place removes stress. Or consider taxes. Most retirees underestimate the impact of future tax increases, or RMDs. If you've done proactive planning, like partial Roth conversions, qualified charitable distributions, or asset location strategies, you've taken major steps towards protecting your future income. Even inflation, which can quietly eat away at fixed incomes, can be planned for with rising income streams or inflation-adjusted withdrawals. To get there faster, have your plan stress tested under different conditions. What happens if the market drops 20% in your first year? What if inflation runs at 4% instead of 2%? These are scenarios that make or break long-term success, and the earlier you address them, the more flexibility you'll have. Sign 3. You're clear on the purpose behind your plan. This is the piece most spreadsheets miss. Yes, you need to know your numbers, but just as important, maybe more important, is knowing what your retirement is for. Because retirement is not just a math problem, It's a life transition. Being ready means having clarity around what does a fulfilling retirement look like for you? How will you spend your time and with whom? What causes or projects might you finally pursue now that you have the freedom? Do you and your spouse share the same vision? Or are you on different pages? Without purpose, retirement can feel aimless. Some people retire at 62 and are back to work by 64, not because they have to, but because they hadn't thought through what would give their days meaning. On the other hand, I've worked with clients who retired with less than they expected, but did it joyfully because their goals were crystal clear. They didn't need to keep climbing the mountain. They just needed to know how to use what they had to support the life they actually wanted. Purpose drives planning. It guides how much you spend, what you prioritize, and how your financial strategy should evolve over time. To get there faster, take time to define your vision for retirement. Ask yourself what a great year or even a great Tuesday looks like once work is off the table. The clearer your why, the easier it becomes to make confident, values-based financial decisions. So let's recap. Retirement isn't about chasing a perfect number or waiting for a market high. It's about having clarity in 3 key areas. First, you know where your income will come from, and you've built a plan that turns your savings into a steady, sustainable retirement paycheck. Second, you've reduced the major financial unknowns, the risks that most people are kept up by at night, by planning ahead for taxes, healthcare, inflation, and longevity. And third, your financial plan reflects your purpose, not just your expenses. You've taken the time to think about what this next chapter is really about and how your money can support a meaningful life, not just a secure one. When all 3 of those pieces are in place, it doesn't matter what the headlines say or what the markets do next week. You can move into retirement with clarity, confidence, and intention. Now, if you're already there, that's fantastic. Stay the course. But if you're close and unsure how to take the next step, that's exactly where a personalized plan makes all the difference. If you're nearing retirement and want to make sure your financial strategy supports your goals and values, let's connect. Click on the link in the description below to schedule a conversation. We'll walk through your income plan, your risk exposure, and how your money can help you live the life you want on your terms. You don't have to navigate this alone, and you don't need to guess. With the right plan in place, you can retire with clarity and on purpose.